Hello, welcome to Board Game Bonkers, and today we're going to be ranking our board games, put them into battle one against one. And we're going to use a website called PubMeeple, which is very popular and actually works really well to rank your board games, and especially if you're struggling to kind of rank them in your top 100, etc. It's a good way of doing that in comparison against your top 100 list. So all these games, I kind of narrowed it down. I haven't put expansions in. I've narrowed it down into around 64 board games and taken out the ones that I haven't played yet. So these games I have played. Now, before we get into this, please do consider subscribing to the channel and give this video a like if you enjoy it. So let's get to this battle of board games. And we're going to begin with, we've got Valley of the Kings, which is a deck building game, the premium edition, against High Treason, the Trials of Louis Riel, which is a kind of lawyer game. It's a two-player game. And really, Valleys of the King, I think, like most deck building games, work really well with two players. So we've got a couple of good games here. I'm not quite sure which one. I'm actually going to pick Valley of the Kings because there's a couple of flaws, I think, with High Treason around where the cards are too random to start with. You haven't got your starting deck, like Lawyer Up. And I think that's a bit of a flaw to the game. Which I find a bit frustrating, but I found a way to try and fix that by using the same system that Lawyer Up's got, and hopefully I can make that a little bit better. But I think Valley of the Kings probably does it because I like the burying of the card and that card ability. When do you use that ability? When do you bury it for the points? I love that. So Valley of the Kings it is. Next up, we got Monsters of Loch Lomond, which is a new game that came out against Castaways, which is an older game. So Loch Lomond is a card game with a bit of memory, and you're going to try and get rid of your cards. You've got 4 laid out. Castaways is a worker placement game, and you've got this kind of adventure that you're going on, and there's a bit of story behind that as you go through the mountain, but you're trying to escape the island, and you're semi-co-op, but the semi-co-op is absolutely silly, so it's cooperative for me. Rulebook is horrendous, one of the worst books I've read, but I enjoy the game, and I think there's more into it. So I do enjoy Monsters of Loch Lomond. I think it's quite fun for the little game, but to be honest, I'd rather invest the time to play Castaways because it's a meatier game, and it does take a bit of time, but once you get past that rulebook, it was really enjoyable. Next up, we've got Just One party game. Really like that. Agricola Family Edition. I like both, but I think Just One is super fun. It's easy to get to the table. I can play this with all my family. I'm going to go with that. Stella, kind of card game. You're building this kind of telescope, if you like, and trying a bit of set collection. And Outsmarted is a game actually that Kim got. It's like Trivia Pursuit. It's really the same type of game, and I've got to go with Stella. I think that's a good game. Pillars of the Earth is the Age of Civilization. It's an easy choice for me. Pillars of the Earth, brilliant worker placement game. Well, it's not kind of work, it's kind of worker placement. And I love that mechanism where the turn order, you're not sure what it is because you'll be drawing these pawns out of the bag and you put them on a semicircle and you've got to bid for that, where you want to go in that order or not. I really like that. Age of Civilization is kind of really small card civilization game. You've got this row of cards laid out and you'll be placing your meeples on there to carry out the actions. There's a bit of a tech tree as well. Really simple and straightforward. And it's quite a nice little card game, but Pillars of the Earth, love that game. It's got to get through. Cluster, that's a kind of so-so game. This is one that Kim got. You just got these magnets and a string in the middle, and you're just trying to make sure they don't hit one another or connect up. Chronicles of Evil, it's quite an interesting one. This is designed for kids, definitely, and you're going through, you've got this little world, you'll be revealing tiles, you'll be trying to defeat these monsters. Really difficult, ridiculously difficult, but I think it's more enjoyable than Cluster. Cluster is a kind of a 2-minute game. Chronicles of Evil, it's got this little world and a bit of combat in it, and yeah, kids have enjoyed this a lot. Pandemic the Cure, kind of dice pandemic game, a lot of luck in it, and Capital Fjord. Oh, this is a tough one because I'm not a fan of either, to be honest, but I'd rather play Pandemic the Cure than Catapult Fjord. I think sometimes Catapult goes on a bit too long when you try and knock down the blocks. So, it's a tough one. I think I'll go with Pandemic. Death Valley versus Emotep. Emotep, love Emotep. I love that mechanism. You're putting these blocks in the boat and someone else will choose the boat. It might even for years to go into a space that you don't want to go to. I really like that. Death Valley, nice little card game, Death Valley. I haven't played it for a while, but I really did enjoy it. And a little bit of set clicks you can go bust as well if you've got too many of the same type of card in your set. So I quite like them both, but Temp is it's much better. Raptor, two-player game. Really quite surprised by that. And Tiny Epics Pirates. I love the rondel system, but it doesn't play well with two players. It's much better with 3 or 4 players. 4 players where it shines really. And yeah, just a bit of exploration. You're trying to find the treasures, a bit of luck in that. But I love that rondel system and the actions you take. Raptor's quite a nice little game. It's a little bit imbalanced, which can be a little bit frustrating. But I love the card mechanism and how that works. I think it's well done. This is a tough one. Ooh, I think I have to go with Raptor just because of that card mechanism. And I think if I played 10 Epics Pirates with more players, I might actually enjoy it a lot more. Magic Maze Crusader, it's got to be Crusader. Magic Maze is a crazy game. I think it's amazing, but my partner doesn't like it, so you can't communicate. And you're banging this large piece against the table, and you've each got your direction tile, and you can only move a piece in that particular direction. And and you're working cooperatively. Crusaders, I love that rondel system again, where you've got to choose your actions, and the rondel is different because it's in segments, so it's set up as different each game. And you're going in this big crusade, revealing different resources tiles, and then you're going into some combat as well, which I quite like the system that they use. Crusaders every time. Palm Island versus Back to the Future. I had to go with Back to the Future. I think it's got a bit more to it. Palm is a very small game, but Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. There's 2 different versions. This is Dice Through Time. I really like the effect. You can share dice through a ripple effect. I like rolling the dice and assigning the actions, and you're trying to get items back to the correct year. Red 7's a party game. I quite liked it. I really did enjoy it when I first played it. Really simple card game. You've got to be winning by the rule that's set in the middle by that card. So you play a card in front of you, and then you play a card to change the rules. But you've got to be winning by the rule. Fallout Shelter, I quite enjoy this, but I felt it's a bit flawed because sometimes when I play this a couple of times, you can get run over by monsters, which hinders your opportunity to upgrade because you have to defeat the monsters to clear them up. And sure, you get a bonus for defeating the monsters, but that can be a little bit imbalanced. I wish they had a dice that was split, maybe one that's 1 to 5, and the dice that was 6 to 12, for example. That would have been better, and it's alternated when they rolled. But apart from that, I like the game. I think it's a really nice worker placement game. Oh, this is a tough one. Red 7, I really loved that when I first played it, and quick party game. Oh, did I pick Red 7? No, let's go with Fallout, I think, for this one. The Girl Who Made the Stars, a fairly recent release, and Conspiracy Abyss Universe. Conspiracy is a kind of card game. I haven't played this in a long time. I need to get to the table again. The Girl Who Made the Stars recently played that. It's not that great with 2 players, and it was an okay-ish game. I think it'd be much better with more players, so I'm going to go with Conspiracy Abyss. Seven Wonders Architects, pleasantly surprised by this. Really light family game. Building your architects, you take a card from the left, the right, or a card face down in the centre. Micro Macros, almost Where's Wally. I think for me with that game, I've played it. When you play it, the first one, I don't want to be playing it again, to be honest. It's the same every time. I have to go with Seven Wonders Architects. Target versus Mintworks. Oh, this is a tough one because I like both, but especially Mintworks. Target, the first few times I played it was okay. I liked a lot about it. I wasn't too keen on a few little things about it. It's a bit confusing at first where you place your meeples and then you kind of link the lines, and then that's where you place your next one. Mintworks, worker placement, small and tiny little 10. I think they've done a good job for that worker placement. Oh, it's a tough one. I think I'm going to go with Mintworks. Maybe when I pick the Target expansion, make it better. Kids Chronicles, really good game. My daughter loved that. Linky, it's more of a party game. I've got to go with Kids Chronicles. Pandemic versus Ascension. Oh, this is hard. Oh my goodness, I like both of them. I really like Pandemic. I've got the Legacies. I really like Ascension. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. I'd have to go with Ascension. Great card game. Bit of deck building. You've got these constructions you play in front of you and get you lots of points where opponent can destroy them. Pandemic, that point-to-point action movement. You're cooperative. I really like it. I oh, I will go with. Oh, this is hard. I think if I was. Oh, do you know what? I think I'll go with Ascension. Small World Underground versus Tiny Epic Blaster. This is a hard one. Small World, I've played over 50 times. I love that. It's one of my very first board games I got. Tiny Epic Blastoff. Loved this game when I first played it. I thought it was great. This is hard because I love both games. I think because I've played Small World to death, but Underground I haven't. And it's a better game than Small World, slightly better. But I think Tiny Epic Blastoff's just does it. I love that. Roll the dice, icons on them, you assign them as your actions, and yeah, you're terraforming the planets. Nice little game. But then again, Small World's got a bit more meat to the bone. Let's go with Tiny Epic Galaxies. Sunset over Water versus Love. Both card games. Sunsets are really nice. You've got these cards laid out, and you're moving your painter, and you've got these cards that have your time on it, how many movements you can make, how many paintings you collect, and you play one, and then you move around the board, and some bonus cards. Really nice little game, and you've got a bit of set collection, collecting cards. Love that, a simple card game. Play a card, draw a card, play a card. Really simple, and trying to get your opponents to discard theirs. We played Love Letter a lot more than Sunset because it's easy to get to the table. I think I need to go with Love Letter because if I introduce it to a new gamer, works really well. Okay, Tiny Epic Dinosaurs versus Plague. Oof. Plague is obviously the opposite to Pandemic, where you're trying to destroy the population. Tiny Epic Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, worker placement, building your dinosaur ranch. You've got your private and your public contract you're trying to fulfill. Quite a nice little game, but I don't get that wow factor either with Plague and Corporation. But I think if I can remember, did I have a better feeling for it? This is hard. I think I'm going with Plague. Shaolia Warden State really like that. Love Raiders North Sea. Oof. I'm trying to get the expansion for Shaolia. I really love that, building up your army. You've got a marketplace, and you're trying to obviously win. There's two ways you can win. Raiders, good worker placement game, raiding these different towns, villages, and pillaging them, and simple worker placement spots. I like that worker placement element. Place a worker, take a worker. It has to be Raiders. With when you add the expansion, it just makes it much better. Draftosaurus, simple drafting game with dinosaurs. Arctic Scavengers for me is the best deck building game. Really enjoyed that. It's got to be the winner. Telestrations, great party game. Oh, and Quicks, nice little kind of bingo game. But every time we play Telestrations with groups, they love it. We have a good laugh. So I have to go with that. Glasgow, nice little two-player game, tile laying, and I was really surprised by UK Airways, really nice dice game, and you're taking passengers to different locations. Really like that game, brilliantly designed. Greedy Kingdoms versus Lawyer Up. So interesting. Greedy Kingdoms is a game from Japan. Simple little card game. You're trying to get the palaces and you're scoring points that way. You lay 3 cards out, your opponent lays 3 out, and really it's a bit of you're trying to obviously make sure your cards are not voided by theirs. Got a matching icon. Lawyer Up, simple 2-player game. Different cases. We played a couple of cases. Got the Kickstarter version. I thought it was okay. I'm not sure about this one because Greedy Kingdoms have a bit of fun with it and it's simple and it's quick. I really like it. But I also liked Lawyer Up. I like that element of being a solicitor or a lawyer. Both do I play a bit of deck building or they're both a bit of deck building in some ways. This is tough. Lawyer Up's got a lot more to it. Let's go with Lawyer Up. Cave versus Cave Caverna, really good game. Hero Tech's gotta be Cave versus Cave. Much better game. Dominion Second Division versus Castwagon. Dominion's a funny one because it's great for chaining, simple, but it's much better with all the expansions. You can mix and match the decks. Craftwagon is a really good kind of worker placement. You've kind of got these tiles you'll be placing your workers on to carry out the action, etc. And then you'll be trying to either improve the engine of your car or make it look better. And there was a bit of a flaw to it because you had this separate track for racing around. So if you had a good engine, you're going to get more points that way. Whereas if you're going for the best looking car, there's no other way of getting points because there isn't a separate show you go into. So I was thinking of putting my own expansion in where you've got that extra way of getting points. You've got the best looking car to balance it out. But I enjoy it nevertheless. And Dominion, I enjoy. This is a tough one. Dominion, I've kind of gone off a little bit, so I'm going to go with Craftwagon. Or do I go with Dominion? Yeah, Craftwagon. Oh my goodness, this is hard. Two of my favourite games. Laws of Waterdeep versus Alien Frontier. I can't go. I loved Alien Frontier when I first played it. Rolling the dice, assigning the dice, account your actions. I really loved that. I think it's a brilliant game. Laws of Waterdeep, one of the best, if not the best, worker placement game I've played. Absolutely loved it. And with the skills ported expansion, I enjoy that as well. This is really hard. I think, oh my goodness. Every time I play on Frontier, it's simple. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Laws of Waterdeep, a little bit more thinking to it, but I enjoy it. Right. Alien Frontier, we'll go with. That was a hard one. Goblin Teeth versus Port Royale. I love them both. The big box, you've got to get the big box Port Royale because the expansions are really small, simple expansions. They don't really change too much. Goblin Teeth, I was really surprised by this. I really like it. And you've got your cards, you're playing your cards to try and get the goblin parts and the teeth, etc. And you're trying to fulfill the contract, and who is the first to get there wins. I really liked Goblin Teeth, and I thought it was quite a nice little production. Port Royale is a great deck building game. One of the best I've played. Oh my, this is hard. I'll go with Port Royale. Blood Rage versus Dice Hospital, easy. Blood Rage all day. Tiny Epic Zombies was quite an interesting one, but I have to say, for someone who doesn't like polynomial games, I really like Project L, so I'm going to go with that because I enjoy it. Okay, Valor of the Kings versus Valhalla. I've got to go with Valhalla. I love that combat. You're encouraged to have combat with everyone. I really like it, and you've got your cards down, and then you're rolling dice to activate those Vikings. I really like this. I was quite surprised by it. So that. Just One versus Castaways. That's a tough one. Castaways. Just One. Castaways has got a horrendous rulebook. That really lets it down, but it's quite an enjoyable game. Just One, really fun, a little simple. I think because Castaways got such a horrendous rulebook, I'll go with Just One. Oh, Agricola. Castaways, I think I've played Castaways. Much a lot longer Agricola, maybe Agricola. Pillars of the Earth versus Stellar. Tough choice, but Pillars of the Earth. Age of Civilization or Stellar. I think we will go with Stellar. Definitely Age of Civilization. Pandemic versus Chronicles. That's a hard one. I think the Chronicles would go with. Definitely Pandemic. Catapult Ford versus Cluster. Catapult Ford, hasn't it? It's got to be. Emotech, yes. Oh, it's interesting. Death Valley versus Raptor. I like them both just as much as each other in different ways. Our card mechanism is really good in Raptor. I really like Death Valley. It's quite a simple little game, but I think Raptor's got a little bit more to it. Tiny Epic Pirates. Oh, that's a hard one. I think we will choose tough one. 4 players, Tiny Epic Pirates would be really good. Death Valley I quite enjoyed. Let's go with Tiny Epic Pirates. Crusaders, definitely. Oh, that's a tough one. I think because we don't play Magic Mazes much now, I think we'll go through dice through time. Palm Island versus Magic Maze, I think I'd rather play Magic Maze. Fallout Shelter versus Abyss. Oh, that's a tough one. I think Fallout Shelter is day if the balance is there, it works really well. It really depends who gets most monsters, really, because that does make a difference in who generally wins. I like Conspiracy Abyss. I really did enjoy it. I think Fallout Shelter. Oh, that's a tough one. I really like Red 7 when I'm in the mood. Nice little game. We usually take it at Christmas time to Kim's family. We have a bit of a blast. And I think we'll go with Red 7. Mintworks versus Seven Wonders Architects. That's a tough one because I like both of them. I think Seven Wonders Architects would just steal it. Mintworks, I think, would just steal this. Target, I think I would go with. Oh, Ascension, definitely. Pandemic, definitely. Well, that's a tough one. Love Letter versus, I think, Tiny Epic Blast Off. Maybe. If I had a choice, if I was trying to, on a desert island, have a choice of these games, I think Blast Off's got a bit more to it. Oh, that's a tough one. Small. I do play Love Letter quite a bit. Small World is a slightly better game. Definitely Raiders. Well, that's a tough one. I think Shatolia is a better game. Arctic Scavengers, definitely. Oh, that's a tough one because I enjoy both, but I think Telestrations. Quicks or Draftosaurus? Ooh. Quicks is a decent game. It's almost like bingo. You roll some dice and then you mark you know, everyone gets a white dice marks off on their board, and then you've got the colour die that you mark off on your board. So I really like Quicks is a little simple game, but I think Draftosaurus is a little bit better. Lawyer Up, Yukon Airways. Oh, that's a tough one. Glasgow versus Lawyer Up. I think Lawyer Up. Oh, Greedy Kingdoms versus Glasgow. I think what could be an interesting one is that Glasgow is a nice little two-player game, and then you're building the city of Glasgow up through the tiles. But I enjoy Greedy Kingdoms for the little, Greedy Kingdoms. It's an enjoyable game. Oh, this is hard. Cave versus Cave, Caverna versus Craftwagon. I think Cave versus Cave just does it. And I think Craftwagon beats Hero Tech. Dominion, but I played Dominion and Hero Tech. Well, that's a tough one. Portal versus Alien Frontiers. That's Alien Frontiers. Oof, that's tough. Laws of Waterdeep, I think. Well, that's a tough one. I think, because I'm enjoying them both just as much as each other. Project L and Blood Rage. Blood Rage we played about 10 times in a row. We're a gaming group. Got all the miniatures painted, all the expansions. I think Blood Rage. It's got to be Blood Rage. Dice Hospital, Project L. Dice Hospital's quite a nice little game. You've getting your passengers, your patients coming in via the ambulances, and then you'll sign the dice to the wards, and the different values depend how critical that patient is. I quite like that. And you find ways to cure them. Tough fun. Project L, I think. Tiny Epic Zombies versus Dice Hospital. I like Tiny Epic Zombies, but it's quite a fun little game. Just One versus Valhalla. I think I'll go with Valhalla. Oh, that's a tough one. Valley of the Kings was Just One. I'm more likely to play Just One than Valleys of the King, to be honest, so I'm going with Just One. Castaways versus Valley of the Kings. If I'm in the mood and I can read that rule book, get past it, and I've got a bit of a simple rule set I've written up myself for Castaways because I was not rereading that rule book. I'd actually rather play Castaways and invest in the time, although I like Valleys of the King. It's a little bit more accessible. That's a tough one because I really like that pyramid system of the cards, and you know what cards are coming down. You can plan that out. It's a good game. Let's go with Valley of the Kings. Oof. Do you know what? If I fix High Tree Sin with how I'm going to fix it, I think it'd be a much better game. But at the moment, let's go with Castaways. Well, that's a tough one. I quite like the family edition of Agricola more than the actual full version of Agricola because it's much more streamlined, does the same thing, and has much quicker time. That's what I like. But High Treason, it's got some interesting choices, but it's too much luck, I think. Yeah, High Treason, I think I'd play over Lowland. Oh, Pillars of the Earth, got to be. Stellar, yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. Chronicles of Evil versus Age of Civilization. I think Chronicles of Evil, no, I quite enjoyed that. And I think Civilization is a little bit better than the Cure. Right, Outsmart versus Pandemic Cure. Outsmart for me is too much like Trivial Pursuit. I quite enjoy it. It's fun for families, but really, my children would much prefer Pandemic the Cure, and I think I would as well. Catapult Ford versus Outsmart. I'd rather play Outsmart, to be honest. Oh, that's a tough one. Crusaders versus Emotech. Both really good games. I really like them. Oh, I play Emotech more than Crusaders because Crusaders takes a bit of time, but it feels more fulfilling playing Crusaders. But I like that puzzle element of Emotech where I place my blocks. I need to get my blocks here, but somebody else gets my block there and I'm kind of messed up. So I like them both. Oh, this is hard. All right. I'm more likely to play Emotep than Crusaders get to the table, but do I have a more enjoyable time with Crusaders than Emotep? I think I do. Crusaders. Definitely Emotep. Oh, that's a tough one. Raptor versus Back to the Future Dice Through Time. Quite like Dice Through Time. But Raptor I quite enjoy as well. I think Dice Through Time would just win that. Well, this is a tough one. Magic Maze, I had so much fun when I played that. Quick, easy, rule time, crazy. Frustrates some people because you can't communicate. Raptor, I just like that card system. I don't want to go into too much in the card system. I really like it and what you play and when you go. Depends on the number you played. But obviously the higher number or is it lower number, the better the action is. Oh, it's a little bit imbalanced though. Magic Maze is just unique, I think, in how it feels. I'm going to go with Magic Maze. Palm Island versus Raptor. I think I played Raptor. Tiny Epic Pirates, or I played in Palm Island. Oh, Death Valley, definitely. Seven Wonders Architects versus Fallout Shelter. That's hard. Oh. I like Seven Wonders Architects. For a family game, I think it's great. Fallout Shelter's just got a little bit more to it. Well, that's a tough one. Right, Seven really like it as a party game, but I think Seven Wonders Architects would play more likely. Oh, yeah, Mintworks. Definitely Target. Oh, I'd rather play Red 7, I think. Conspiracy, yeah. You know who made the stars? Yes. And that's a tough one, but I think Ascension would win that. Oh, that is hard. I think Pandemic would win that. Oh, that's tough. Tiny Epic Blast Off is Kids Chronicles is great for younger kids. It really is. So maybe ages, I would say 11 plus. I think it's great. So it's almost like the Chronicle series. I think it's been really well done. Tiny Epic Blast Off. I mean, personally, I'd rather play that. It's definitely Small World Underground. Love Letter versus Chronicles. We're more likely to play Love Letter. Chronicles is one of those. Once you played it, you played it. Good artwork, good design. I think it's well done. I think if a child was playing, choosing one of these, I think maybe they would choose Chronicles. So we're going to go with that. Linky versus Love Letter. I think Love Letter wins that. Sunset Over the Water, definitely. Well, that's tough. Arguably the best deck building game against one of the best worker placement games. This is tough, but I think Raiders I would go with. Oh, that's hard because I love Shaolia Warrior State. Arctic Scavengers, I think. One State. Well, that's quite tough. Telestration is a party game, bring it when you've got a big group. Plague. I like a few things about it, but there's other things it needs a bit more. It needs another expansion that just introduces something a little bit different. But I think Plague. Oh, I think about play Telestrations actually into Epic Dinosaurs. Well, that's interesting. Draftosaurus versus Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. I think Tiny Epic Dinosaurs got a bit more to it. This is hard. I think Yukon Airways, I really like that. Pleasant surprise, really enjoy it. Cave versus Cave, I think Vernon just does it. Well, that's interesting. Craftwagon versus Lawyer Up. I like both. Uh, hmm. It's interesting because they're two completely different games. You've got a deck building game, you've got a, is it worker placement? Who knows? But you're selecting the tile, they're collecting for that action to carry out. It's got a lot more crunchiness, Craftwagon. Theme, I much prefer Lawyer Up as a theme. But I have to say, Craftwagon feels more thematic, which is quite strange. I'm going to go with Craftwagon. Oh, that's hard. Because Dominion, I like, is a nice quick deck building game. And like I say, you need the expansions really to make it worthwhile. I would rather play Lawyer Up. Oh, that's hard. Greedy Kingdoms I like is really quick. You've got a deck of cards, you're playing cards to try and get essentially goods if you like, items, and then get the kingdoms, the palaces that in Dominions are classic, one of the very first ever deck building game as my phone pings off. I think we will go with Dominion. Yeah, Greedy Kingdoms. Heretics an okay game. It's interesting, and I quite enjoyed it. But with the additional cards you can actually print off and use, there's no explanation how those cards work. It's a little bit confusing, but I think Glasgow's a better game. Well, that's tough. Blood Rage versus Alien Frontiers. Alien Frontiers, let's go with that. Was it Waterdeep? Blood Rage, Blood Rage. And Project L. Oh, both of them are good. Project L. I think right, Al would win that. Well, that's tough. I like them both. Goblin Teeth, I think, they're a bit better. Pillars of the Earth, I think I would rather play that. Oh, that's tough. Valhalla, I'll go with. Well, that's tough. I like Just One. Stella's got a bit more to it. It's quite an interesting game. What card do I choose into my telescope? I think Just One is so accessible and so fun, but I think Stella's got a bit more to it. I think I'm going with Just One. Oh, yeah, Valley of the Kings is better. Castaways, I'd rather play that, maybe. Stella, oh, that's tough. So good, Chronicles of Evil for children. Agricola, I think they would rather play that, so let's put that in. Agricola, play that over. Well, that's tough. I like Age of Civilization for certain things and High Treason for others. Age of Civilization. I think I'd rather play High Treason. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Monsters of Loch Lomond is quite an interesting little game. I think I've gone with that. Crusaders. Imhotep. Oh, that's a tough one. Back to the Future, Days for them Fallout. More likely to play Back to the Future. Made you all prefer Fallout. Oh, that's tough. I like Dice Through Time. Oh, interesting. I'd rather play Magic Maze than Seven Wonders Architect. Well, that's hard. Raptor. Yeah, let's go Raptor. Oh, I don't know. Because 4 players, 10 Epic Pirates is much better. It's awful with 2 players. 3, it's okay. 4 is really good. Yeah, but like Seven Wonders Architects. Oh, that's tough. I think we'll go with Pirates. I think we'll go with Mintworks. Target versus Death. I think we'll go with Target. Red 7. Yeah, Conspiracy. The Girl Who Made the Stars, you have to have 4 players. It doesn't really work with 2 or 3. Death Valley, you can play with 2 players. I think I'm more likely to play Death Valley than The Girl Who Made the Stars. Yeah, Death Valley. Girl Made the Stars. Pattern's an okay game. I don't think it's that great. I'd rather, Micro Macro, I think. Raiders of the North Sea versus Ascension, a tough one. I like them both. And Raiders. Oh, that's tough. Oh, two of the best deck building games ever made. These are the top two I would have. I'm going to go with Arctic Scavenger. It's got a bit more to it. Oh, that's a tough one. Ascension. Oh, Pandemic versus Shadowlia. More likely to play Pandemic, I think. Well, that's tough. Time Epic Galaxies. I like Shadowlia. It's got a bit more to it, but we'll go Time Epics. That is tough. But I've played Smaller to death. I still love it. Yeah, Small World is going to be Small World. I think Shadowlia will win that. Plague, I'd rather play Plague, to be honest, but because Chronicles was such a well-designed, put-together game, I think Plague has got a lot more to it. Oh, that's interesting. Illustration is such a great party game. I've got to go with it. I've gone off Tiny Epic Dinosaurs a bit, but I still enjoy it. But also, my daughter enjoyed Kids Chronicles so much. I think Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. Oh, let's go with Draftosaurs. And I think we'll go Kids Chronicles then. Definitely Love Letter. Definitely Sunset Over Water. Well, that's interesting. Linky versus Quicks. Quicks, we're more likely to play Quicks, I think. Alien Frontiers. Oh, that's hard. There's going to be lots Lordy. Yeah, Blood Rage. Oh, that's interesting. L Project. Project L versus Yukon Airways. I think Yukon Airways wins that just. Cave versus Project L. I'll say Cave versus Cave. L Project L. Oh, that's an interesting one. I think Port Royal wins that one. Oh, Goblin Teeth versus Craftwagon. More likely to play Goblin Teeth, so we'll go with that. I like Tiny Epic Dinosaur Zombie, sorry. I think it was a nice little game. Quite a bit luck. And I find it a little bit too easy. I think I'll go Craftwagon. Oh, that's hard. I think Lawyer Up. I think I'd rather play Zombies than Dominion, to be honest. Oh, that's hard. I like Dice Hospital. It's a little bit too math. I played Dominion. Dice Hospital. Oh, that is hard. I like them both. Crusaders is a lot crunchier, a lot more to it. Pillars of the Earth, such a great streamlined game. It has to be Pillars. Oh, that is hard. It's too hard. Valhalla. Oh, this is too hard. What do you think? Crusaders? Valhalla? What would you pick? I'm going to go with Crusaders. That was too hard. Oh, this is hard as well. I'm more likely to play Emotep than Valhalla, but I love Valhalla. Go with Emotep. Yeah, Valhalla. Well, that's hard. Fallout Shelter, I think, just wins that. Oh, Back to the Future, Dice Through Time just won. Such a good little game. Yeah, we'll go Back to the Future. Probably just one over Magic Maze. I think Valley of the Kings would win that. Definitely with Castaways. I think I'd rather play Stellar. Chronicles of Evil. No, Magic Maze. Raptor. I think Raptor probably wins this one. Oh, this is tough. Such a good game, Chronicles of Evil. So was Seven Wonders Architects. It's such a simple game. I think Chronicles just wins it. Oh, that is hard. It's both simple, straightforward games, but I think there's a bit more to it with Agricola. I think Seven Wonders Architects wins that. Pirates game is really good with 4 players, awful, I think, with 2. So, Age of Civilization works well with any player count, really. But I think Tiny Pirates has got it. Mintworks, I think, has got it. Targaze won that. I think I'd play Red 7. Definitely Conspiracy Abyss. Oh, Death Valley. Yeah, Death Valley. That's a tough one. Girl Who Made the Stars is not a bad game. I just think it's flawed with 2 players. It's not that exciting. No, I'll get away with stars. Age of Civilization. I'd recently rather play. Well, that's interesting because Micro Macro was great the first few times you played it, and then that excitement wore off. I think I'd rather play Loch Lomond, to be honest. That is hard, but I think I played the Pandemic. I'd rather play Micro Macro. Pan Island versus Outsmarted. I would rather play. I haven't played Pan Island in ages. I'd rather play Outsmarted, to be honest. A little quiz game. Catapult, yes, I'd rather play that. Cluster, Pan Island. That is tough. Alien Frontiers versus Raiders. What would I pick? Raiders is such a good game. Alien Frontiers. Laws of Waterdeep, I think. Raiders. Oh, Arctic Scavengers. Ascension, maybe. Blood Rage. Oh, Ukuleles. Oh, that's tough. Caverna versus Pandemic. I like them both. I like Pandemic. Oh, maybe Caverna just does it. Well, that's tough. I like them both. Yeah, the L Project. Blast Off, like, yeah, Port Royale. Probably Blast Off. Well, that's tough. But Small World's got a bit more to it. Chatolia's got a bit more to it. Alright, but Goblin Teeth, I think. Oh, that is tough. Craft Wagon versus Plague. Let's go with Plague because Craft Wagon's got a lot of thought to it. Illustrations, yeah, it's such a great party game. Craft Wagon. Oh, that's interesting. Lawyer Up versus Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. I think Lawyer Up just does it. Zombies does it. Dominion does it. Yep, I think Dice Hospital as well. I'd rather play Greedy Kingdoms now. I think I've done with Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. Glasgow, quite a nice little two-player game, but I think Tiny Epic Dinosaurs has maybe got a bit more to it, but actually Glasgow is quite a nice little game, that rondelle, big rondelle system, you're moving your meeples around. Let's go with that. Draftosaurus. And Chronicles, lovely. Oh, I think we'll go with Hero Tech. Oh, Pillars of the Earth versus Alien Frontiers. I'm quite happy with either of them to be the best game. I'd happily play them all the time. I think Alien Frontiers get more fun out of. Laws of Waterdeep, yeah. Oh, yeah, leaders. No, Pillars. That's tough. Oh, Crusaders. Arctic Scavengers. Ascension. Well, that's tough. Yeah, Blood Rage. Yeah, Ukuleles. Emotep, maybe. Well, that is tough. Pandemic versus Valhalla. I think we will go with. Oh, Pandemic's so good. Yeah, enjoy Pandemic. That's interesting. Valhalla, I really enjoy. Cave versus Cave. Right, Valhalla. Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's go with Valhalla. Cave versus Cave. Project L versus China. Like Project L. Big box. Like, sure, it's got a bit more. Small World, yeah. Yeah. Yep, Goblin Teeth just. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, we play Dice Through Time. I think this is a little bit better. Yeah. That's interesting. I like them both. I think more likely to play Dice Through Time. More likely to play just one. Well, that's interesting. I think Valley the King wins that. Castaway wins that. Well, that's tough. I like them both. But I get more enjoyment out of Stellar, I think, than Craft Wagon, and I think I get more enjoyment in Craft Wagon. Magic Maze is just such a fun game, though. It hasn't really got much depth to it. And it's got Magic Maze. Raptor card system's so good. I think Craft Wagon we'll go with. Chronicles, we'll go with Lawyer Up this time. Tiny Epic is Zombies. Yeah, I really like that. Dominion. Yeah, we'll go with that. Dice Hospital. Yeah, it's got a bit more. Actually, like Greedy Kingdoms. Nice fun little game. Do I like the 2-player Glasgow over Chronicles? To be honest, much of it, I think we'll go Chronicles. And Agricola is a little bit better. It's the one that's Architects. Glasgow versus Tiny Epic Pirates. The Pirates. Mintworks are more like to play than Glasgow. Glasgow's got a bit more to it. Let's go with that. Target. Red 7. Abyss. Oh, the Dynamic Dinosaurs. I think far more crunch to it. Draftosaurus, yeah. Great game. Love Letter, yeah. Yeps. Death Valley. Who Made the Stars. The Age of Civilization. High Treason. Yep. Oh. I play Hero Tech, to be honest. Clicks. Nice little game, but I think Pandemic is the winner. Micro Macro, I think that's the one that. Outsmart versus Quick. To be honest, I play Outsmarted if I win a quiz game, but Quicks wins that. It's a nice little simple bingo game. Both quiz games, I prefer Linky. And there we go. So we have on our list Alien Frontiers number 1. Lords of Waterdeep 2, Raiders of the North Sea 3, that doesn't surprise me, and Pillars of the Earth 4, I think what surprised me, Crusaders Die We've Done, it's number 5. So I'm going to compare this to my top 100, and I think there's a few changes on this, which is interesting. This is a great way of doing your top 100, by the way, if you're struggling to do it, and as you can see, might be some surprises. Have a look further down the list. So, Magic Maze is 28, it's quite low down. Any surprises on here, do you think? I don't know. Target's 42, that might be a surprise for some. Question why on earth is Mintworks above Target? I'm not a huge fan of Target, I think it's an okay game. Dominion's 33, I think that's a lot higher than I thought. Let's have a look, the rest. God, Belt falls way down the bottom. Cluster, what you can't see in the list is Palm Island and Cluster at the bottom 2. Cluster being the last one. It doesn't surprise me that some of the party simple games are at the bottom. Micro Macro's near the bottom, so that might be a bit surprising. And I think Love Letter, yeah, I think that's a decent place. So I think overall, I'm quite happy with the outcome of this. I think they've done a good job. I'm quite happy with my top 10. I'm going back at the top so you can have a look. So I'm happy with that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below in terms of what you thought about this battle. And I find it quite interesting, a little bit more time consuming, almost 48 minutes, and that's how long it's taken. But I hope you've enjoyed this, a little bit of fun, and as you can see, it's a good way of listing and ranking your board games. And we might actually do this again next year. Let me know in the comments down below if you want us to do this again at some point, and please let me know your thoughts. I'd be interested to see whether some of those battles you completely disagree or agree with. If you haven't already done so, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, my name's Jay Sears. Take care.
This is Bonkers.